Girl, hell has officially frozen over because I am now what? Team Kenya. Let's get into this review. Ooh, Porsha, your makeup artist went a little bit buck on your highlighter because from here to here, you are like a bright gold. I like that this episode they're focusing on the ladies doing charity because this is when I think that they're at their best, when they come together and they do charitable work, and I feel like this is when we can see them outside of the characters they portray on this show. So Shamia, she gives me opportunists. I feel like whenever Candy isn't available or when Candy doesn't have her filming with her, she's filming with Porsha. I feel like she tries to find a moment to get any type of camera time on the show. And I think she does it because she's been auditioning to be on the show for a very long time. And for some reason, they haven't picked her. And no shade, I don't think that she's interesting enough to be like a main cast member. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think she has enough going on to hold a peach. But I feel like she's trying really, really hard to get on this show because she puts herself in situations or shows up at places and I'm just like, why is Shamia here? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me that like out of nowhere she became like really good friends with Candy and then she just popped up and was Porsha's like best friend. I'm not saying that they weren't best friends before, but I'm just saying like she had this storyline of being this friend to Candy and Porsha when they had this drama going on. And it just seemed very fake and forced to me. And I feel like I can respect it more from Margot because she's open about it. Like, she wants to be on the show. Like, she's been trying to do it for a very long time. When she comes on, she's a whole hoot and a whole mess. And you can tell, like, we just know that she's auditioning to get a peach. I don't get the same thing from Shamia. I feel like she's auditioning, but she's doing it poorly, where it's like a turnoff. Like, girl, it's all right to be auditioning to be on this show. Everybody needs a check. Do it properly and not poorly, and I respect you more. Yes, Cynthia, I am loving this natural hair, like curly ombre wig. She has slayed since she has been on this show. In her fashions, in her makeup, in her hair, in her shoe wear, like everything that Cynthia has done fashion-wise has always been like A+ on this show, and this is what we tune in for. So I'm like, bring it, especially to some place like Atlanta. No shade, I don't know if people dress like this in Atlanta, but the ladies on this show are hella dry, and I feel like Cynthia brings her New York flair to this show, and I love it. This is what you tune into this show for. You want to see the messy and the drama, but you also want to see some fashions. You know, you want to see something forward thinking. Watch this show and then Google what they have on like right as the credits start rolling. I do that all the time with New York, but I do that more with restaurants and with fashion. But whatever, it gives me a reason to still stay engaged with the show, and that's why I think that Cynthia really fills that position of just like the style that this show needs desperately from every cast member. However, this fisherman like outfit that she had on when she was sitting down with Candy, it's a no from me. Kim Zolciak being on this show is the best thing that ever happened to Porsha. As soon as Kim came on this show, she was negative to everybody. She caused so much drama and took the shame crown right off of Porsha and placed it right on her head. So nobody is focusing on how messy Porsha was last season or all the mess that she has done throughout the seasons prior. Everybody is focusing on the fact that Kim Zolciak is the devil, okay? So Porsha needs to thank Kim Zolciak for coming back on this show because nobody's talking about her mess. They all have gathered together and tried to find a way to get rid of Kim. Did Porsha put her up to this? Smart. So I don't believe Sheree and this fell in for 1 second because how was production always available to film when he calls her? They don't have set times to call you. You just can't. I'm not going to say how I know this, but you just can't like plan for them to call you on a certain day and a certain time and have production there filming and all of those things. Like when the prisoners or felons call, you just have to accept it because you don't know where you're going to be at or whatever. Like, you can't plan for it is what I'm trying to say. And I feel like production is always there when he calls her. And I'm like, there's no way that they're going to waste their budget just having a camera and a crew set up all day following these ladies. If you don't know, this is what they do. They have a writer's room, they construct a storyline, and they go to each lady and figure out what they're doing for the year, during the time that they're filming, so they can see if it's important enough for them to film and start to cultivate a storyline with the ladies. Yes, they probably cultivated some storyline with Sheree and this fella, and I think that she probably brought him into the mix because she needed a storyline to stay on the show so she's no longer with the abuser. I get that, right? Make me believe it even when I don't, because I'm not this is just very sloppy of production, because there's no way you can catch all these phone calls from this dude. No way, unless it's planned. Milk that back, injury Sheree, and get your coins, sis. I ain't hating, I'm just congratulating. Word on the street is that Nene used to be a scammer back in the day, and that is how she knows Tyrone, because they were both scammers back in the day. But Nene, you know, changed her life around, I guess, when she became a mom. I don't know. But, you know, she cleaned herself up, and he still stays scamming, which is why he's in prison. So when he was saying she don't want to talk about me, she need to keep my name out of her mouth because she don't want me to say what I know or all this stuff. And then Sheree brought up that she was an adulteress. Listen, I feel like that is low level to what the actual tea is, and maybe Sheree don't really want to expose her like that, because that's when it gets dark and dirty on this show, because that's what happened with Kandi and Porsha. They went beyond being messy. Like, Porsha went dark and dirty, and the show just took a turn. So I feel like Sheree probably knows that about Nene, but she'd much rather talk about the adultery thing, because there's no real meat to that, than the scammer thing, because there's always receipts on the scammer. Always. They eventually get caught. Wait, Tyrone is from Philly? Tyrone is a scammer from Philly. Sheree, stay away, stay far away. You don't understand that kind of scammer. A Philly scammer is a professional. And especially if he was scamming in Atlanta and in Philly. Oh no, he top level. You don't want that mess. Get out of that. You do not want to be bothered with that in any form or fashion, because yeah, he gonna do them 10 years, and when they release him, they probably gonna lock him up somewhere else. Girl, get out of that. Philly scammers, no. I feel like Porsha being ostracized from the group was actually really good for her, because she's getting a lot of solo camera time, and I, for one, am finding out a lot about her, because when she came on the show, her storylines are wrapped up in everybody else. Her first storyline was her husband, and we didn't get to know much about her, and then when it happened with the divorce, it was still about the husband and how he was mistreating her. And then she got out of that and got into something with Needy. She just kept on getting into stuff with people, and her storyline was always focused around other people. But now, because nobody wants to film with her, we're getting a lot of Porsha. We're learning a lot about her and her businesses and her charity work, and, you know, learning more about her family, her famous family that she comes from. And I think that's really good, because I feel like her being ostracized has given her a housewife makeover, especially since Kim just came in with all this heat. Everybody is focusing on that, and now she's getting like this angelic makeover. I don't think people, especially Kandi, forgot about everything that she did, but Kim is just being so negative, and then they're not spending a lot of time with her. So when we see Porsha, we see her by herself, and she's not involved in any kind of mess or drama. So it's sort of like you're getting reintroduced to her, and I think that's a really good thing for her. Riley is learning how to drive in a Mercedes. Haha, flourish, little mama, flourish. And so after we have this adorable scene with Riley learning how to drive, she then breaks my heart. Because when she goes in her house after listening to that phone call with her father and starts out there crying, I'm telling you, my eyes welled up. Because I understand. I think what's happening with Riley is the fact that she's just down getting a relationship with her father. He's just starting to come back around. Even Kandi mentioned that he's reaching out. He's trying to do what he should have done when the child was born. He's doing that now. However, he's having another child. So she feels like this, you know, you're coming back into my life, we're building something, and now you're bringing in another kid, and there goes my attention, or there goes our time, there goes our time being able to build on what we never had. Because even if you hear in Block's voice with how he speaks about his son, yeah, the king is arriving, my king is coming, and it's just, even like, you can tell when he was saying it, how she was reacting to it, and that scene just hurt. And even when Kandi was like, oh, get this mic off of me, she just didn't want to film her child in that type of way, and I really respect her for that. I know exactly what she's going through. I know what that's like. I mean, like, my father and I, we're still trying to get our relationship going, but every time I felt like we were trying to do something or moving towards something, he came up with another kid, and I was like, well, dude, what the hell are you doing? You know what I mean? So I get it, and I think that it's really difficult to navigate those emotions when you're a kid, so she probably can't really voice it, so she just had this breakdown. And then the baby, oh my goodness, when Ace was saying, Riley, I was just like, oh, this scene is too much. Too much. Go to commercial. Go to commercial. Really hard scene to watch. It really was. And that's the good thing about this show. Within all the mess and the drama and the storylines, you get some real moments that are impactful. Like the ladies going to Houston doing a charity. Like, you know, Candy really allowing us into Riley's life with her father. And it's a good show. I'm upset with how the season has been so far, but from the preview trailer, it's going to start getting good, especially I think when Eva comes in. So we're going to start, I think this show is going to get back on track, and I'm happy for that because this is one of my favorite shows. I know it was yours too, right? Yeah, it's the top show on Bravo. So yeah, we love this show, so I'm glad it's getting back on track. Cynthia got them new tight braids. I don't miss that at all. I love me a box braid. Just to look at them at this point, because the last time I had box braids, I lost all my edges. I'm still trying to recover. It's been 2 years. Oh, Porsha, you are so pretty, sis. Stay pretty. Houston is not the biggest natural disaster that has ever happened in America, the United States as a whole. We've had others. And many more prior to that. Hey, Porsha, one more thing. I feel like you have enough money to pay for hair and makeup for your sister as well. I'm tired of your sister looking like she has been through it, especially next to you. You gotta hook your sister up as well. I mean, poor thing, you pay her in pennies. The least you could do is throw her a nice wig and some lashes, something. She looks like she's been through. I'm telling you, in this scene where she is sitting down with Porsha, she is giving me Janet Jackson and what was that Tyler Perry movie? Whatever. It was some scene where she was tearing up her place and she was sweating and her wig was all over the place. That's what Porsha's sister looked like, and I'm hurt because Porsha, you got the coin to hook her up. Of hair and makeup, sis. I need that star jacket and that skirt. Work. Miss Mallory got body. Did you see her in them pants? I said, yes, it's work. Share some with me. I'm really here for Cynthia and Porsha creating some kind of friendship. I don't think they've ever really been friends on the show. I think they've always just been friendly. But I like that they're working together and getting to know a little bit more about each other. I think that together they will have cultivated some kind of strength. I think on their own, they're not strong. But together, I think that they can pull from each other and get some kind of strength. So I'm interested to see what could happen with this relationship if these ladies really come together and form a friendship. They also give me the sense that they will have a real friendship outside of this show. So what you see on the show will be natural and real because they'll really be friends outside of the show. But I'm not sure that'll happen. But I'm interested in seeing where this will go. Candy on her own is country. But Candy talking a block, Lord, they were giving me like backwater, Mississippi, alligator, Louisiana, crawfish. I couldn't understand anything she was saying when she was talking to him. Thank God they had subtitles. And no shade to that. I don't want anybody watching this from the South thinking that I'm coming at them because I'm from Philly, right? And when I get around my peoples, you're lucky if you understand a third of what I'm saying. I was just wanted to bring that out that when she gets around her peoples, whoo, that Southern is strong. Whatever this man did to Kenya, listen, he doing all right. He is doing her right. Kenya is a different person. She's nicer, kinder, dare I say more beautiful inside and out. I'm really here for her. And I think it's also the fact that Kim keeps on coming for her. So I'm finding myself having to defend her a lot of the time. But I also think that she has changed. She has matured. I think that this is the real deal, guys. I think that this is real love. I think that she is really, not only is she really married to this man, I think she really loves him because she is very conscious of how she comes off on camera. She wants to change her image. Now, maybe she might still be, you know, Satan inside. But I feel like whatever this guy is doing, her husband, his influence is a really good influence on her. She's becoming very likable. I'm telling you, I tweet with this show, right? Like when this show is on, I tweet and I watch it with other people and we, you know, tweeting back and forth or whatever. The comments for Kenya has always been negative every season. Every season she's been on. This season, it's like the total opposite. We are loving her this season and she is really coming into her own. And for me, she's becoming the housewife that I wish she would have been when she first got on this show. But I'm thinking that she's on her way out. I feel like she's done. She's in love. She has her husband. She doesn't want to be coming to Atlanta to film. She wants to be in New York, laid up with her bae. She wants to try to have kids. She's in a different stage in her life at this point, and she's done with the show at this point. She really, really is done, because even in her scenes, they're lacking. You barely see her in anything. And then when she comes, she's getting right out. And I'm telling you, all them housewives do that. When they're on the show and they're trying to secure the bag, after they secure it or fall in love or whatever, they start to pull back more. They start to change their image. They're not as messy anymore. They're not in fights. They're not throwing drinks. They're not with the drama. They don't even show up to scenes. And then the next thing you know, they're not on the next season. And so I wouldn't be shocked if we don't see her next season, because she's happy. And I feel like you got to be a bit miserable to be on this show. So she's in a good place, and I'm happy for her. Somebody who has not liked her since she's been on this show. I'm really happy for her, and I'm liking this new Kenya, this happy and in love Kenya. I could vibe with her hair. I feel like Kenya was abrupt. More than abrupt. She was very rude, right? But I felt like she was focused and she was trying to get something done. And Shamia came in and was annoying. You know what I mean? Like, you're trying to work, you're trying to get something done. Somebody is calling you, trying to figure it out. Then she's coming in, trying to talk. And you're just like, listen, people are in need. I'm trying to help. Let's get this work done. We could bust it up later. You know what I mean? And she was rude to Mallory and Cynthia or whatever, but it wasn't. I think they came in with different mindsets. Kenya came in to help. They came in to help as well, but I don't think they expected the amount of work that they would be doing. Kenya was just like, it's not time for pictures. We came here to work. You know what I mean? So she just had a totally different mindset, and she wasn't about the bull. The ladies were a little leisure. They were, dragging their feet a bit, and she wasn't about it. And I felt like Shamia came in to probably, not saying that she was looking for something, because she doesn't give me that, but I do feel like she's auditioning, and Kenya didn't feel like that. She didn't feel like the auditioning right now when we're doing charity work. She knows how to play the game, and she knows what this show was all about. But right now we're doing charity work, so you can put your audition tape away, pick up a sledgehammer, and help me get this drywall down. I'm team Kenya on this, although I do agree that she was rude, but I'm with her on this. Porsha, please do not be mad at Cynthia. Mother could not leave the Habitat for Humanity house that she was building with Kenya. Kenya was dead serious about building that house. And I'm telling you, if Cynthia would have tried to have left, she would have lost a ponytail, some edges, some eyebrow. She would have lost it all. Kenya was not playing. And I think that Cynthia was afraid to leave. I would be too, because she was about her business that day. Is Porsha's sister trying to stir up some mess? First of all, ma'am, this isn't the time. I get it, right? This is a TV show. You got to give us some drama and some mess. But this is about charity. I don't think that Kenya was doing anything negative or trying to be mean to people or take her friend away. I just felt like if you guys came there to help people, this should be the last conversation that you're having. First of all, Cynthia didn't know y'all had all of them, First of all, Cynthia didn't know that y'all had all these events. She was even saying in her confessional, she came and she supported you at her event. Now she's going to come and help Kenya. Like, how was she supposed to know that there were multiple events that she was supposed to support? You got to be clear to people. You just can't assume that she's going to come to all of this stuff and then get mad because she didn't come to one of the multiple events that you had. Like, come on, Porsha. I was rocking with you, but now you're starting to get on my nerves. Fall back. To the sisters on this show, stop pressing your hair, your natural hair, to match the weave that you're wearing, because I'm seeing a lot of bald spots at this table that are unnecessary. I'd rather you perm it than press it, because you're going to go bald quicker pressing daily than you are perming. You're going to go bald either way. I'm just saying, give yourself some time. Oh, Shamia, Kenya is definitely dismissing you. You just too slow to catch it. Now it's confirmed for me. Kenya is definitely done with the show. She is definitely leaving it, because when Shamia and Porsha's sister were trying to come at her about, being rude or whatever at Habitat for Humanity, she just got up and left. And she even said in her confessional, she said, normally I would go toe to toe with her, right? But I'm a married woman now. I'm not in that same space. And that's true. She's mature. She's grown up into something. She's in a different season of her life, and she's just not not about the bull. So I feel like she's on her way out of this show. I also feel like she's on her way out and that it's confirmed that she's leaving, or, you know, negotiations or whatever, just not coming back or was fired, whatever they try to say. I totally believe that we will not see her next season because the producers are giving her the edit. And you know what that edit is? That edit that they give a difficult cast member or a cast member that's been fired from the show or a cast member that's leaving the show. They give them this negative edit. Because why did they put that footage in of her going off and still having the mic or whatever and, you know, making these comments about the ladies at the table? They only did that to drive a wedge in between her and Cynthia. And that is her only like real ally on the show. And I think because Kenya is done with this show, she's done with faking a friendship with Cynthia. I have to be honest, I never believed that Kenya really considered Cynthia a friend. I felt like she made sure that she remained close to Cynthia because she needed a storyline to be on this show because she wasn't really offering much, you know what I mean, of her own life. So she needed a connect, somebody who would keep her, I guess, coming around and being in stuff because she was like a Porsha. A lot of girls didn't want to film with her because she was so messy. So I feel like now that she's done with the show, she's done with faking this friendship with Cynthia. So of course she'll say all of those negative things and she won't care. Even when Cynthia tries to go to talk to her or whatever, and she's just like, no, I'm not giving you a moment. I'm not making this a moment. I'm done. And Cynthia's just like, I'm just trying to talk to you. No, I'm not. This is not a moment. She's done. She's done with faking this friendship. She's done with it. She wants to be out. She wants to be with her man. She even mentioned him when she was having her breakdown. That's why he don't want to be around, because you're always tearing down his wife. She's done. The girl is in love, and she crazy in love at this point because she's willing to give up a nice check. So girl, good luck. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see her in New York because New York is falling in the ratings and I would like to see her there. I feel like she would flourish there. She would bring another demographic to that show. She'll bring the ratings up if she can play the game right, and I think that Kenya can. She's calculated enough to know how to, not calculated in a negative sense, but she knows how to play this reality TV game. She does it very well. So I'm thinking that she's getting this edit because she's done with this franchise, but I think we're going to see her in New York. And I'm kind of excited about that because New York needs something. That is my show. I'm loyal to that show, but it is boring. A drunken countess, Jill Zarin in the Bethany makeup, and Kenya. I might be here for that. Make it happen, Bravo. That's going to be a good season. This is not a moment. I'm stealing that, Kenya. I just want to let you know. I've been saying it all night anyway. I'm using that. Anyway, that's where the episode ends. Next week's looks really good because we're going to get Eva added into the show. So I'm hyped for it. I think we're at the stage where we're going to hype it up now and the season is going to start to get a bit more interesting. And I also think that Eva was brought in because Kenya was on her way out. There's a lot of stuff going on here, but I'm here for it. It's starting to pick up, and I'll continue to review it as long as it's good and as long as you guys stop by. So thank you for stopping by, and if you like what you see, please like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I will see you for the following episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Bye guys. Love ya.